guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Muramasa the Demon Blade. Last time we did our first sort of exploration in the overworld, after getting out of the first dungeon. So in this part, we're going to at least find our way to the next dungeon. I don't know how far we'll get into it, but we'll see. The good thing about doing longer parts per episode is that, you know, you get more progress done. I do like the exploration elements in this game, though. They are a lot of fun. Anyway, I think we actually have to go right here, like far to the right here, so I'm going to do just that. We will be exploring every area of the game at some point, just because you have to... Okay, so I guess we're just going to get interrupted by these annoying Kappa while I'm trying to explain the gameplay mechanics. Okay, sure, whatever. I'm just gonna do a windmill again, just because I... I mean, look at that! That was so... I actually remember, the first time I played this game, like, I was playing through the first sections. The combat, you know, I might not have gotten quite into the swing of the combat yet. And then I got the windmill special, and that, I actually remember, was the moment when I said, okay, this game kicks fucking ass. Just because, you know, that is such a great... It's just so much it's just so much fun to do, and it looks really cool. Okay, so I think we might actually have to go back down. If there's any unnecessary backtracking happening, I will cut it out as long as I'm, like, not saying something that's even a little bit entertaining, you know. I'll just cut it out so you don't have to worry too much about me showing unnecessary kind of BS. I try not to do that if I can avoid it, so, you know, that's just that. A lot of this game does... a lot of parts of this game can sometimes feel a little bit repetitive, but I don't mind it just because, again, it controls so fluidly, and I have fun doing everything that you can do in this game. So, yeah, like, killing these ninjas is, you know, they might be pretty basic enemies, but they're a lot of fun, and just to beat up on. And don't worry, the arenas that we're fighting in do actually become more complex the longer you play through the game. Like, for example, right here, oh, we could go up. Like here, like it's mostly just like straightforward kind of rooms in this area, but you know, in the later areas, like the arenas themselves have a little bit more kind of complexity to them. And that affects how you fight too. Like you kind of already saw that last part when we were in the cave with the Oni. That was structured a little bit differently than just, you know, these kind of flat walkways in this cherry blossom area. Now, if that Kappa, yeah, there we go. I think that kind of, that was what I was kind of talking about with the Kappa last time. Whenever they turn, like, brownish, they have a different sort of, they have some kind of invincibility frames. So you can't just wail on them. That's actually... If you try to attack them while they're in that brownish state, you're probably going to get hit at some point. And oh wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure this actually leads to one of Kisuke's dungeons. Hold on. I'm gonna check though. I do like to have the entire map open for every character though. So actually, that might be a thing. When I get to Kisuke's story, I'm not sure how much of the back and forth exploration I'm gonna even be able to show off. Or actually how much I should show off is what I mean. Yeah, okay, I'm pretty sure that right here, yeah, this is one of Kisuke's dungeons. Throughout the game, you're going to be seeing a lot of these white locks, which basically means that this is an area that you go through as Kisuke in his story. We can go through them with Momohime eventually. It's just going to take a while. So while I'm thinking about it, we leveled up, so I'm going to forge this sword. We got the... I'm not even gonna try. Okay, so, and we also got a whole lot more stuff on this skill tree. That I'm gonna wait until we actually have the stats to use before I get to forging them. But let's equip that new sword, shall we? This is the windmill one, and it actually's got a higher strength than the Ayami Muramasa, so I'm gonna equip this instead. The Secret Artist Flash. Oh, the effect is income boost. That's actually a really good one because that increases your income or the amount of money you get. So that's always really helpful. But anyway, I think I'll probably stick with the backtracking. Oh, never mind. Okay, you know what? I'll just cut to when we get back to where we were, and I'm doing actually new stuff. So I'll see you then. Okay, and we're back. So now we're going back to exploring areas that are new on the map. So I figure I have to show this, right? Actually, I'm pretty sure if we keep on heading right here, yeah, we're gonna pass where the dungeon is supposed to be. So I will have to backtrack over back to the first path later on. But that'll at least keep stuff from that'll at least keep you from having to see stuff like that. And oh, we got the Hinzume? I can't. I am awful at pronouncing stuff. And that keeps us from getting the burning status, which will be definitely will be useful. It's not necessary right now, so I'm gonna not equip it right away, but the burning status is annoying. So we're gonna be equipping that for sure later on in the game. But yeah, that's an easy one to miss. And oh, this is a challenge room. You know what? I'm gonna be saving most of these for the end of the game, but since this is a red one, I'm gonna do it now just to show it off. So the enemy these are enemy layers, which I'm probably just gonna call it a challenge room for the time being. The recommended level is 9, so I'm gonna probably get my ass kicked here. But basically, how it ends up working is that there's 100 armed monks. So basically, this is gonna be a challenge where I have to fight all of these monks and win, and it's gonna be a hard combat challenge. Is basically the general shtick of this. So basically, my my recommendation for this is to basically to get good. First off, second off, make sure to prepare. Like I did not. I went into this without preparing even a little bit. So you know that's probably gonna cause me some issues. And on top of that, take advantage of hot pots as much as possible, because that is a great way to make sure that you have stat buffs, and stat buffs are enormously important for this. Another thing that'll help you get through these kind of areas is making sure that your swords are making sure that you use your arts in the right way, and making sure that your swords aren't damaged. And also making sure to take advantage of quick draws whenever you get the chance, because it allows you to switch swords without leaving yourself open to a counterattack. And I died. Yeah, it allows you to leave yourself. It allows you to do damage without leaving yourself open to a counterattack while doing damage at the same time. And since I'm a stubborn fuck, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep on trying to do this, even though I probably should wait. One of the things is that if you do a challenge room, and you to do that you have to break the seal. And if you break the seal, then that basically it's always gone. So it's hard to tell whether or not you've beaten a challenge room if you it's hard to tell if you've beaten a challenge room if you open the seal and then you leave, as in like you open the seal and then you leave the area. So like you're not sure whether or not you've beaten it yet. That's why I actually recommend, because a lot of these are really hard. So I recommend waiting. And I'm not sure if I made an awful lot of sense, but basically what I'm saying is I recommend waiting until the post game to do this stuff, and then doing them all in one go, so that you're sure that you're sure about which ones you've beaten and haven't beaten. And I haven't used Flash yet, and it does that, and it's not that special. I'm gonna have to switch to the long blade that I've got going. Again, like, I'm only surviving this right now because I'm taking advantage of my taking advantage of all my arts, especially Windmill and Swallow Saw, which are pretty fucking badass at this point in the game, if I do say so myself. Okay, so yeah, they're mostly just gauntlet rooms. I'm actually not sure how many of them I'm gonna show when I get to the end of the game, but they're basically a lot of very dangerous combat challenges, and you have to get through all of them in one try, because if you lose, you have to go all the way back to the beginning. And of course that's annoying, so try not to die is the best way I can. And so my hot pot bonus is already worn out too, if you haven't noticed already. And oh god, I'm running out of health. I need to Rice ball. Okay, there we go. Again, like there, I was pressing the R button to try to switch swords, even though it's actually the L button that does that. So yeah, I get messed up with this at some point. The challenge rooms are a good way to get XP though, because you get XP by killing enemies as you go, and not just from beating fights. You get XP. You can level up during the middle of a. God damn it! You can level up during the middle of the fight, and that's really helpful actually because you can you if you level up in the middle of a fight, you actually get a full heal, which is ungodly helpful. And since I seem to be taking them out quickly enough, I'm actually going to do the Radish Hot Pot, which allows me to have higher defense. So actually, I'm going to do that. Item shortcut, let's see. Smoke ball, that's not going to do anything for me. I'm not going to get poisoned. Healing pellet, I've already got that equipped. Amora stone, actually, I'm gonna keep equipped because that's probably gonna be more helpful than anything else that I have. Also, if you're doing a quick draw just to do damage, I actually recommend switching to your highest power sword when you do it, because that'll do the most damage to all the enemies. If you're just using the quick draw as an excuse to change swords, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're just doing it to do damage, I recommend doing it that way, just so that you can do as much damage as possible in one go. Because a lot of the times, especially in rooms like these, you're gonna be killing an awful lot of enemies using one quick draw, and you're gonna want to take advantage of that whenever possible. And I am getting my ass handed to me. I'm gonna use the recovery pellet. And actually, that's one thing about this. These things get harder as you go because you run out of healing items as you play. So, these are not easy areas, but I think actually I should level up after I defeat these two monks. Although I'm running out of soul on this sword, so I'm gonna switch so that swords will slowly regenerate soul as you play, so you don't have to worry about that. And I haven't even gotten to a situation where my blade has been broken yet. I don't even want to think about what'll happen when that inevitably screws me over. Oh shit! Some arts can leave you very. Oh, my sword got broken. Okay, basically when your sword breaks, it's essentially useless. That's the short version. Your sword becomes pretty much fucking useless, and it's not gonna do jack to help you win the fight. Like it does pitiful damage, and you can't block anymore. So what you got to do is, you see how its meter is pink now instead of its meter's pink now instead of blue. That means that it's recharging. Essentially, it needs to recharge back up to full soul in order for it to be unbroken and thus useful again. So it's going to take a while for that to happen. And collecting souls does make it happen a little bit quicker, thankfully. So you don't have to... So you still want to go out of your way to collect souls when appropriate. And actually, it's back to normal now. So I'm gonna switch, and actually that worked pretty well, so I'm gonna spam windmill a couple of times and then switch to the long blade. Oh shit. Okay. Actually, I think I'm okay. I just took one hit from that whole thing. I thought I took more. Okay, so I did not want to do that. Fuck. Okay. I accidentally used up my last rice ball, and I really wanted to save that. So, yeah, I'm kind of screwed now if I don't win, or if I even take more damage than I'm supposed to. As you can see, I do tend to spam the dash strikes because they keep you pretty safe. It's harder to take damage while you're doing these dashing strikes. I think they have a name, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. But they keep you relatively safe, and they're just fun to do too. I like slashing about. So if you're in a situation where you're taking a lot of damage, I recommend doing them because they're a safe way to go. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to dodge out of there. Okay, windmill time. Oh, crap. Okay, sometimes you'll see me lose my, take a lot of damage and then gain it back really quickly. Um, to be honest, I think it has something to do with dodging, countering, or holding down the B button to guard. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Shit. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what causes that, though. Fuck. Okay. You know, I've gone through it so much, I can't just stop now, can I? Hmm. Hmm. Actually, yes, I can stop now. You know what I'm gonna do, actually? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be a cheap ass, reset the software so I keep all of my shit, and then go the way we're supposed to go. Yeah, because I can do that. I am gonna need to explore that area anyway for post. Oh shit, but the Hinazame dress. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut past me re-exploring all those areas, and then just so that I can get all the goodies that I missed, and then I'm gonna cut back to when we're actually going to go do real stuff, because that was kicking my ass. I was clearly underleveled for it, so we'll be back shortly. Okay, and we're back. As you can see on the map, I have gone back and re-explored all of the areas to the right. I have left the challenge room untouched, but we leveled up. We have the same swords. I got the Hinazume dress, so it's basically all good. Now we're basically back to where we were. But now I'm actually going to talk to this guy and buy some more... healing. Oh, he's not sell. He doesn't sell rice bags. Interesting. You know what? Fuck it. We'll buy the Ninja Gauntlet, because why the hell not? Anyway, okay, let's get back to where we were. So, everything to the right of here is fresh territory, and it's where we actually need to go if we want to get the... Oh, this place! I remember this place. This is one of my favorite locations in the entire game, actually. I love this. I love this area's motif. It's basically like a Japanese village. And it's just, oh man, I love this game's, I love this, I love this area's kind of look and feel, and walking back and forth in that area is not smart, because that's, I think, where the spawn actually happens. But the Amazake, that's a type of healing item, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay, so, Fire Charm, you go out. Amazake, you go down, back in. Okay. Basically, that's just an alternate baboon, not bamboo flask. So, yeah. This guy, he looks a little bit different, but he's essentially just another samurai kind of type area. If you go into these rooms, occasionally you will find samurai, but sometimes you actually find, well, ninja, but sometimes you find goodies or people to talk to, so I actually recommend checking every single room. Or sometimes you just find nothing. You know, that can happen too. And what's behind door number 3? Rice bags! Oh, thank God, rice bags. Okay. We need more rice balls. So we're gonna cook 2 more, I think, yeah, because you do use the rice bags for more than just rice balls. You can use them for other recipes later down the line, and I'd rather not have to spend the money to buy them. So that's why we're going to be using that. And it looks like we're only like a room or 2 away from being able to get to the next dungeon. So let's do that, why don't we? And we got cabbage, too. Awesome, so we can cook more cabbage hot pots. And that looks like that's all there is in this room. Oh, this is actually, there's a soba shop hidden in this room, actually, now that I remember. Because, oh, well, hold on, this is, how rude. Oiran, I think that's actually a word for something in Japanese as opposed to that woman's name, but I might not be I'm not entirely sure about that, so don't quote me right away. Oh, and there's this drunk guy. I love this. Don't you oogle at me. You better suited to mate with a radish. This game is very funny. Like the story is actually like the plot. The plots in this game can be actually rather tragic. But the dialogue with these random NPCs is pretty humorous, so I enjoy that quite a bit. So anyway, it looks like we can't afford much of anything, but we can get some tuna sushi, so I'm gonna do just that. We do not have an awful lot of money on us. So yeah, so we've got an awful lot of spirit to spare. Spirit will usually not be what's the issue when you're trying to forge swords. It's usually what's the word? It's usually souls, and it still kind of bothers me that souls and spirits are the two different things that they have as their essentially their currency. But you know what? Whatever. It's not actually that big of a deal. Now wait, hold on. What dungeon is this? Is this the dungeon I? No, it's not. This is not the dungeon I was thinking of. So basically, this dungeon is basically just a darker version of the area we were just in. Oh, and we've got more monks. Okay, good. This is exactly what I needed. This is exactly what I needed to get that to get that out of my system. Okay, you guys are going down. These guys actually, I think, can burn you, if I remember correctly. They have a fire-breathing attack, if I remember correctly. And if they hit you with that, you can get burned. So be careful. These guys are not to be messed around with. Like, I know that they're just kind of monks and they wear silly hats, and you think, oh, they're not a big deal. They can be surprisingly annoying, so take care when fighting them. Also, whenever there's a basket in the room, I'd actually recommend checking every single sort of floor just to make sure that it's on there. And I also recommend basically checking every single floor on a building so that you can make sure that you don't miss any goodies potentially. Oh, and that guy actually got a hit on me, but I've got a quick draw, so that shouldn't. Oh, that didn't actually break his blade, but that did. So we don't have to worry too much about it anyway. But yeah, we got another Amora stone too. If I haven't explained that well yet. Basically what that does is it replenishes soul power to your blade, which can be very important depending on if your blade's running out of soul and you really want that specific art or something. These ladies are annoying. Basically what you have to do is you have to hit all of her little spirit thingies in order to hurt her. That's really the only way you can do it. I think you can do damage on her with a quick draw, but don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure about that. But yeah, she's a little bit annoying, so they're kind of... what now? Oh, another one of you. Okay, whatever. Yeah, you want a piece of this, huh? Yeah, I recommend juggling samurai if you're able to, because they will eventually pull out a better sword, one that's not broken. So I recommend doing that, juggling them, so you can keep them from getting a better sword and having you to have to break it again. So, okay, looks like we can forge another sword. 6/6. Okay, this will be... Oh, its effect is Mad Tummy, too. That's good. That basically makes it so we can... that essentially makes it so that we can eat food faster. Well, not eat food faster, but we run out of fullness faster, so... unfortunately, it looks like the windmill sword is our weakest sword at the moment, and the strength and power is just absolutely amazing. So we're gonna go up to the Getsue Muramasa. So yeah, is Fairy Bolt a cool special? I don't remember what it does actually off the top of my head. Unfortunately, that's gonna happen probably a lot where it has the little... this is a pretty okay special. Basically, it has these little floaty balls that will hurt enemies if they touch them. It's not bad. Not great, but not bad either. Not as cool as Windmill, but the increase in attack power is more than worth the special at this place. So you're gonna be upgrading swords constantly throughout the game, so don't get too attached to any one particular sword too quickly, because it's going to actually get replaced relatively soon. And that's not actually a bad thing, because you're always finding newer and better stuff whenever you play the game. Oh, more rice bags. Awesome. Actually, I'm going to take that opportunity to make another rice ball, just so that I'm sure I don't run out. Rice balls are going to be really good healing items for a long while, because they fully heal us right now, and later even like a dungeon or two from now, they're still going to replenish a lot of health. So you know, that's why it's worth it to keep on making them. Now, I don't recommend using all of your rice balls on the rice bags on rice balls, because you will be needing rice bags to make hot pots. They're not all as simple as, say, the cabbage hot pot where you just need one cabbage. You know, some of them require multiple ingredients, but you know, I do recommend keeping a lot of each ingredient on you just in case. But it looks like, oh yeah, we're in the middle of a dungeon. I thought we were in the overworld just because this looks so similar to the overworld areas that we've been exploring lately. So let's keep on going. Is this, no, these are the Ella Umbrella monsters. Yokai, I actually think, is the correct term for a Japanese monster, or at least this specific type of, like, Japanese mythological monster. I don't know this one's name, though, unfortunately. The only one off the top of my head that I know is Kappa, and that's just because that's one of the more famous ones. So I couldn't tell you most of the rest, but... Oh, well, that was an easy... that was an easy item, so... Wait, why do I still have smoke bombs equipped? That's really a waste of time. Yeah, Amoro stones are basically just better to have. Smoke bombs, I don't recommend just like ignoring them, because you know they can be helpful. Like being able to escape a battle that you're surely gonna lose is definitely helpful, and it's just basically a good time saving thing on the if you're backtracking on the overworld and you're like, I don't want to have to deal with this. I'm gonna just use an Amorous. I'm not Amorous. I'm just gonna use a smoke bomb. But especially for like a dungeon where you know, where you're basically gonna have to fight everything anyway, I recommend keeping the smoke bombs. And it's not like you can use a smoke bomb to escape from like a boss fight or something, so don't think you can do that. But you know, they're helpful enough to have around. I just tend to forget about them most of the time, because you know, running away, that's not my speed. I'm too much of a bonehead. I mean, I'm too proud to walk away. Yeah, that's it. That's totally what I meant. But yeah, if you break their blades, samurai are piss easy. It's really more difficult when you're fighting more than one of them at once, because, yeah, that gets pretty annoying, having to fight like three samurai at once. And, oh, ninja. I don't think I really showed off Flash very much. It kind of does that. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna try to do it a little bit better. Oh, it kind of summons a phantom Momohime to attack those guys. All right, but I used up a lot of that sword's soul power, so I am going to switch. And if the pattern continues, this building should have a house too, and it's just another random battle. Awesome. I'm pretty sure that the houses are not randomly generated, in that well, maybe the enemies that you fight, but I'm pretty sure each house is set to either have nothing in it, have an enemy in it, or have a treasure in it. Most of them have enemies, so you are going to be doing a lot of fighting if you enter the houses, but I think the goodies are worth it, so that's why I recommend going after them. It's just, I think, you know, they're relatively easy fights. You fight like one samurai, or two ninjas, or one of these things. These ones are the most annoying, I think, just because they take the longest to kill, and they like to teleport all over the place, so, you know, that's annoying. But I think, you know, yeah, see, there we go. Finally, you're dead. That took 47 seconds. Wow. Man, I don't want to think about a fight that took an hour. Well, actually, I think some of the challenge rooms might take an hour. But yeah, most of the time they're pretty short fights, so you don't have to worry about. These ninjas can actually do burning on us. That is bad. We do not want to get hit by fire attacks. They do a lot of damage, and they put burning on us, which we just don't want to have happen. Actually, to be honest, I don't remember what the specific effects of burning are. I just remember that it's a pain in the ass, and I don't want it to happen, like, ever. So we're not gonna give the game that chance. We're just gonna kick these guys' asses until their ass is grass, or whatever the saying goes. So anyway, let's forge. We leveled up, so let's forge us a new sword. Oh, they're both long blades, which is actually not bad, because I believe our long blade was our current long blade was our weakest sword at the moment anyway. So it's this one. The secret of art is Skull, and we get an extra vitality plus. So that's good. And I believe, yeah. Oh well, we won't be able to continue this specific tree for a while, but I believe that's going to be the next sword we get the ability to forge. So awesome. Okay. So anyway, yeah, this we're just basically replacing long blades at this point, which is good. I'll keep that equipped just because I have to show its art anyway, and I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, it launches the skull. I think this thing. I remember this thing being not the most helpful actually. Now that I think about it, I remember it just being kind of like whatever. Well, I mean, it does do a little bit of extra damage to everything it touches, but it's basically just a worse fairy bolt now that I'm thinking about it, so yeah, not too great. Long swords I just don't like as much as the short swords. The short swords, they move fast, you can do a lot of damage. You get more damage per hit with the longer blades, but, like, you leave yourself wide open to attacks a lot of the time, and I don't find the trade-off worth it, in my opinion. Now, I'm sure somebody prefers long swords to short swords, but I think the fact that they have more short swords in the game than long swords kind of leads to the fact that the short sword was the primary form of attack that they were considering when they were making the game, and that the long swords were designed as a way to change up the pace some. So how close are we to the... I think this is actually the last room before the boss. Nope, this is the last room before the boss because the flag's right there. And of course we had to run into monsters right before the end. And why am I doing the whatever Muramasa blade this is? This thing probably has piss poor damage. Yeah, 19 as opposed to 23 and 30. Yeah. The one thing about the long swords is that usually they do have an awful lot more damage than other swords that you get around that level. But I just think since you're going to be doing hits more quickly when you have the shorter swords, it's just more worth it to stick with them. I do think that some long swords do have good abilities though. So, yeah. Anyway, I've been recording for a while. I know I'm going to have to do some editing, but I'm going to leave things off here. And next time when we play Muramasa the Demon Blade, we are going to be doing the next boss. So, until then, bye-bye now.